Mm. Alrighty. I have like things that are in my okay. Yeah. Sorry. This is this is me. When I first got I could do that. I could put it up. Holy shit. Uh it was a day yesterday. Can I just say that? It was such a day yesterday. Welcome to Weird and Woo Woo. Oh, where I'm weird and we all get a little woo woo. Hold on 1 second. Mm. What the fuck? What is going on? Oh my god. Okay, there. What is going on? Anyways, expecting extreme storms today. Yay! Love it so much. Um, and then of course, like uh yesterday was amaze balls all day outside because that's how track meets go. And it's amazing. This is how flushed and pale this damn lighting makes me. I'm burnt. I look like Rudolph. When I tell y'all I'm not as pale as the daggone camera, I'm like, I don't know what is wrong with YouTube because when I pre record, I don't look like this. The camera actually picks up the real, but when I come on here on live, I look like death. So, okay. Alrighty. We're gonna do a weekly check-in, see if there's any messages for us. If you want to stick around, awesome. If you don't, have a fabulous day. Just a friendly reminder, you are a sovereign being of your life. You can determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation is never to Cinderella it to make it fit. Fantastic. Hermetic Tarot is calling out to me. I just don't know if that's the first one that I'm supposed to choose. Actually, we're going to start with Madame Endor's fortune telling deck. Okay. And it's still pretty right now, so I'm going to go back out again today. But this evening, it's going to get scary. And I love it when they decide that they're going to send the storms all throughout the night because there ain't nothing like jumping out of your bed when you hear the tornado sirens going off in the middle of the night. Because in case y'all didn't know, the tornado siren is like 3 buildings down from me. So it's loud as F. If that one goes off, it's heading for my neighborhood. So, and then sometimes you hear them like off in a distance, which tells you it's probably about 10 to 15 miles the opposite direction. Anywho, still got to be careful because we have the thing is when we don't have tornadoes, we have straight line winds, which are just as bad, if not worse. Like you're talking like 80-mile-per-hour winds. Uproots trees, downs power lines, rips off roofs. It's just as bad and just as dangerous. So, sometimes people are like, oh, you don't have as many tornadoes as such and such. We have more damage. Can guarantee you that. Because if it's not that or that, then it's flooding. Anyway. I don't know if I want to do this. True feelings are masked. And I'm already like, I feel like I don't care. If it's a relationship. Like if somebody likes you and they're not telling you, do we give a shit? If somebody's mad at you and they're not telling you, should we really give a shit? Should we? I feel like not. I feel like that's their issue to deal with, and I don't know why it's coming out. So, because I feel like I want to be stubborn and be like, I'm not gonna do these. Like anytime these readings come, because I'm so sick and tired of the same old trope. I was really patient. God damn it! I swear to God. I was jealousy. I was really patient. I was like, okay, I'll do, but it's the same shit, different day. Because somehow it feels like most of the people that need any kind of reading in regards to love are the ones that are stuck in some bullshit. And you can only tell somebody so many times. If they want to stay stuck, they stay stuck. Like, what are we working harder than they are to get themselves unstuck? That's where I'm at. And so I'm kind of like, if this is the way that it goes, we're gonna wrap it up, Spirit. I will not do this reading because those aren't the people I want to attract, anyways. I want people who want to expand, move beyond, grow as a person, move within their spirituality and their gifts within this freaking realm of bullshit. Yeah, not this shit. True feelings are masked. Okie dokie. A long journey brings rewards. The star. Triumph over adversity, the knight. And then the chalice or the cup, and that is rejuvenation and fulfillment. We shall see. We shall see. Because it's just so fucking boring. I don't want to stay stuck with a person that's stuck like that. It is just so, okay, time to move on. Because it's obvious that whatever is being said is not beneficial to somebody. All right, where do you want to start? How about true feelings are masked, or some kind of mask? We'll put that. And then a long journey brings. We have two things. Long journey. Well, these three things kind of go together. A long journey brings rewards. Something's been a long time coming. And the rewards reminds me of there's triumph over adversity, rejuvenation, and fulfillment. So the rewards are probably rejuvenation, fulfillment. And it's like there is like it's been a long journey, but there's going to be triumph. Temperance, talking about alchemy, but this is called the daughter of reconcilers. So this is kind of like coming to a harmonious conclusion, reconciling differences, balancing something out, cooperation in a strength. Very, very transitory period, a lot of transition, a lot of changes, a lot of stretching and growth, blah, 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 blah. We have strength card, which is some kind of conquering of something within. Four of Pentacles, reaching some sort of foundation. Three of Pentacles, which gives you the capacity to build upon some sort of a foundation that you can build upon. And then the Hanged Man. I feel like the 3 and 4 go together, and the Hanged Man's the overall energy. That was that liminal space, the long journey that we're talking about. Okay, so we are literally just reiterating what the other cards said. Temperance really is giving about working through something. Some sort of truth. All right, explain to me, because I'm about to put these up. Like, it's a little hard. If I feel resistant to, and this could be the energy of whoever I'm reading for, but if I feel resistant to the message that's trying to come through, like it feels like same shit, different day. Like, you know what, Spirit, tell me something different. Because I'm tired of looking in the mirror. Like, you're not telling me something I don't already know, or that's of any benefit to me, or that helps propel me forward. It's that kind of energy, and so I'm resistant to it. And so I can read the cards, but I'm also like blocked from hearing something. So, because it's almost like because it's these are the cards. I'm not getting anything auditory, visionary, in any of my clairs. It's just I am like, I'm over this. And so in that in the spirit of that energy, you may be saying, I don't want to hear anything in the realm of this, but it could also be blocking other messages that are trying to come through. Because you kind of like shut down to all of it versus versus saying, I'm no longer in need of this. So, I'm over here and I'm looking at the cards and I'm like, but likewise, I also don't feel like this energy is any different. You may have been going through something, a journey long enough that you're like, some perspective has already shifted. And so, therefore, any kind of new information or messaging in regards to that, or it's like I'm done looking in the mirror about something, or a crystal ball, like it kind of like staring into a crystal ball, looking and analyzing a situation. You kind of look at it from, and you're like, there's nothing new to see here. Maybe better than a mirror. It's kind of like, but this feels like spirit just keeps talking about the same thing that you're going through, and you're like, I know. There comes a point when there's nothing left to dissect. There's nothing left, no new information, no new perspective, no new lens at which you can view something through. It's it is what it is. And that's what it feels like. And that's where the conclusion that I feel like you have come to. I've garnered all there is from this introspection, from this liminal space. Um what are the true feelings that are masked? What is that? Queen of Cups and Lovers. Um how much you love, how much you want love, how you feel about connections, partnerships, love, maybe how much you love somebody or how much you want love in your life with a particular, like with a soul connection. The devil. Waiting forever for something. Like where you once desired and wanted and loved the notion of being able to have a very specific, particular kind of connection and soul connection with somebody. I feel like something at some point you get to the place where you feel like it's just holding you back, and that this belief, desire, or love of love is really just chaining you up. Like I don't know if you have felt like you were waiting for love, but you are now at the place where something has switched in. Like it used to feel like it was worth the wait, worth working through, worth moving through some of your own shit. But the devil feels like it's like, um, maybe not the most important thing or as high of a priority or as big of a wish as it used to be. Because it feels like somehow you had put yourself on a shelf waiting for this. Like you might be recounting all that you've missed out on. Because it feels like somebody who is like, no, I'm going to hold out for X, Y, and Z. And can I just say it feels like somebody who's been celibate for quite some time or whatever. Some people don't like when you use the word celibate. I don't give a shit. I get to use whatever words I want. Um, and you're like, was that really worth it? Or you could be on the I haven't wanted this. I've said I've not wanted it, but really deep down you do. Because you feel like it's always been the thing that has oppressed you or tied you down. The 5 of Swords. I mean, somebody, but it's led you to a place of feeling like this journey has made you feel defeated rather than empowered. The wait has been so long that you have kind of given up you feel like at this point now you're sacrificing fulfillment, joy. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, God, I'm like, there's such a weight. And this doesn't feel like a person waiting for an ex or a particular person, other than like a waiting for the opportunity of like a more like the idea of a soulmate, a notion of a higher love. And it's like you've kind of like waited in some capacity, like even not wanting to connect with somebody. And it's like you're not so sure that you're viewing this in the same way that you did. You feel defeated by. So I think that somebody started on a particular journey with the best of intentions, but you feel as if now you've been on this road or this path for so long that you've worked through anything that you could have. Temperance card, you've moved through alchemized, you've um managed to overcome any level of trauma that you had, but now it feels very unnecessary to you. Like it's counter to what it is that you want to experience. We have a Knight of Wands. You're ready for some passion. What once was true no longer benefits you. You're ready for some swift change, hence the Knight. Ace of Pentacles, Three of Swords. Most certainly willing. Yeah, you're just in a place of sorrow now. Again, whatever journey this is, it feels as if it's more creating a sense of defeat within you at this point. It no longer serves you. It no longer is of benefit. You want a pivot and you want a very massive pivot. It's almost like Knight of Wands, like it may seem impulsive, like a stark contrast to how you've been operating, but you're like, no, I'm done. Like there's something that's alive and you want to feed that sense of aliveness because you just feel isolated and alone and um Three of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, you're ready for a completely new. You're like, I'm done. I feel like saying whatever path you were on that was meant to be one that you chose of out of out of for the sake of the self no longer serves you and you're ready for something different. And so that's where you're going because you feel like if I stay where I'm at, it's actually going to create this sense of defeat. I dislike this now, and so I want different. And if I stay within this, for somebody, this is definitely I don't want to be celibate anymore. Like, sure, I want a soul level, and sure, connection, and sure, I want all these things. And I most certainly didn't want anybody's nasty ass energy encroaching in on me. But if I'm being real, I'm done with that. And I don't feel like I don't want to like I'm not going to wait for uh this higher level connection. Like it's time to serve me and do what I want to do and whatever fuels and fills me up. And so it's like um you put yourself on a pause in hopes to gain that type of a connection, but you're also not you're like I'm not putting myself on a shelf for the rest of my life, hoping and praying and waiting for something like that to come on. You feel pretty solid in yourself. You've withheld up to this point. You got a solid foundation. Now you're ready. Like you're ready to connect with others. You're ready to connect with other people. Um, and it doesn't have to be some kind of like I've met my divine counterpart. Like divinity exists in a lot of ways. And as long as you're in harmony with yourself and you're in union with the self, it's like it's a waste to be waiting. You feel like you've been waiting. Again, it served you at one point, but you're like, well, at this point, it's no longer serving me. So it just feels like I'm waiting for some proverbial something. You want you want different. When it first came out, the devil card really did give me this sense of um, like sexual prowess. You know what I mean? Like curbing that, taming that, keeping that under control for a period of time was very beneficial. It did something for you. There was something very healing and that you were able to bring back into balance. And it feels like when someone goes on a celibate journey in order to cleanse their being and their energy of all that which infiltrated and it feels like womb healing, and or if it's a man, then it would getting your life force back, and a cleansing, an energetic cleansing, but also like a cleansing at your cellular level, like purging of others' energies just to find yourself. Like it was beneficial, but you're like, I'm ready to leave that behind. Somebody is ready, is in a very sacral coming alive and opening up, um and maybe part of that journey was because I'm not going to be able to find somebody until I get rid of all this shit. I need to find me again, blah 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 blah. But you're ready, and it's kind of like this stepping out isn't with the purpose of finding the one who is my soulmate and twin. You're just like you're back to you. It's giving Stella getting her groove back energetically, like, that's what it feels like, but it's also like, I found me, so if I don't find someone else, I'm perfectly fine, but I'm not holding back anymore. I'm just not holding back anymore, and so you're ready to step out onto a new path. Hold on, I gotta check something really quick. I heard something, so I was just making sure that everything was good. Sorry. Um, it's my child sending me a video. You're just ready. You're ready to flirt. You're ready to have fun. You're ready to. This feels. Again, the agenda isn't locking in and finding somebody. You know what I mean? I think the true feelings that are masked are how much you really want to get out, enjoy yourself, experience your energy interacting with other people, feel alive, how you want to honor your femininity, your masculinity, your it's like your life force is back online, flowing freely and fluidly, and you're ready to experience the world and experience that fire in your belly, the sense of adventure, the sense of romance with life, like romanticizing your life, and it's the experience, right? You're ready to flirt, have friends, have connections, like just this free flow of energy between you and others. Again, there is this sense of isolation that no longer serves you. I just feel fun, adventure, playfulness. That's what it is. You're ready to play in whatever way that means for you. So you're ready to play. Page of Cups, Three of Wands. You've been waiting, and because it's almost like not every environment or human that walks this earth is somebody worth or conducive to that level of playfulness, conducive to what is it you seek to do now. I feel like there is definitely going to be a change of environment for some because you were placed somewhere to go on this journey, the temperance and the strength card of finding yourself again. And now that you have, it no longer serves you to be in isolation. And I feel like saying, if you act on this urge, you will get what you're seeking. Three of Wands. It'll be well received. It is time to balance things out. You're very deserving of this, is what I'm getting with the Justice card. Yin and Yang. We're gonna actually pull from a different deck. Okay, let's go further, Spirit. Ooh. So I feel like saying enjoy yourself. You achieved what you wanted to and then some. And if you feel such an urge to break away from the path that you've been on, and it's kind of like for the sake of not losing balance, you really wanted to not like that's where the true feelings are masked. It's like, okay, okay, okay. But now this something is built up to it. It's like a fire burning in your belly. And it's one of those things that you can't ignore. Because if you do, it's as equally detrimental to you as whatever put you on the path of celibacy, isolation, things like that. So it's okay to want to date. It's okay to want to have um, playful, flirtatious banter and seek out chemistry with others and lively connections. And this can of all forms. It's okay to want to experience and romanticize your life again. It's okay. It's okay if you have been on a journey where you have preserved your sexual energy and to be like, oh, I'm ready now. It doesn't have to be some very specialized, ordained individual that spirit has picked out for you and only then. Like, if you're like, oh, I'm ready, then you're ready. You need to trust yourself. You don't have to be up in your head about it. Five of Swords. La 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 la. Five of Pentacles. At this point, you are experiencing deprivation. You recognize that you're like, oof, actually staying in this energy is depleting me, not benefiting me. I've got to break up the monotony. Because when it no longer feels fulfilling and it feels as if you have a void, it's time to make some changes. Time to make some changes. The world, it's time to open up, get back out there, interact. Hold on one second. You've achieved the peace that you needed to. We got the peace pipe here. Um, I just feel like a lot of things are going to open up to you because you're ready. Let's just be real. You're just ready. I feel like your schedule, your life is going to actually fill up. They're bountiful. I'm surprised the Empress card didn't come out. Like a very bountiful sense of like just life is full. That's why they're giving the world card. I would also suggest, given that we said that wherever you have been has been like a cocoon so that you could heal, so that you could go through some kind of like you were meant to go through a very isolated, cut off, regenerative cocoon type of, but like that's why you've been where you've been. And if you found yourself where you couldn't exactly break free from it, is because again there was you were meant to kind of like go through that regenerative process. It was beneficial to you. It's not anymore, which means you're ready to leave. So this definitely indicates a location change, traveling, getting out and interacting with the world around you. Okay, it is impertinent. Is that the word? That's the word they're giving me. Impertinent? No, I think it's pertinent. Impertinent means it's pertinent. We shall see. Oh, sense of joy. This is going to bring out your inner child. Remember the feeling when you would get to have a break from school and it used to seem like the best thing that ever could happen? This is rose tinted glasses. It is that you will have a love of the world around you now. You'll have a level of appreciation that you couldn't before. You will experience life's little luxuries and be able to uh, no, it's not they're not enjoy it. It is savor all those little moments and experiences, and you'll be able to receive them, is what they're saying. You'll be able to receive them, and also love is a potential. But you can find soul connections, which is the Six of Cups, in all facets of life. You're ready to find individuals that resonate with who you are and not necessarily your the difficulties you were carrying around with you before. That's what I want to say. But Two of Wands, Spirit is asking you to go ahead and act now. What can they do to act? Because I feel like you're beyond contemplation. You want this. It feels like you may not know exactly how to go about it. Like when you've been on the shelf for so long, it's like, you know, that Jennifer Lawrence meme. She goes, "What's going on? What's happening? What do I do?" Like you're just like you don't know. You're like, So you've been on a big pause. Maybe so much so that you are kind of like in a different phase. You're obviously different now in life, but maybe even a different phase in life. And you're like, it is giving somebody that has been through a very transformative period since the pandemic. Like you're like, I don't know how to do this. I haven't done this since before then. That's a long time. That is a long time. Stuck in my hand. Two of Pentacles, Two of Cups. Two of Wands is acting. How do you act? Two of Pentacles. It's like taking a step, be willing to take a step closer to connections, choosing paths that put you into connection. I feel like somebody doesn't know how to do that, though. We need to get specific on how to step back out into the world. Everything keeps King of Wands, Eight of Cups. First thing is to actually choose to walk away from things. Eight of Cups is like really being willing to do it and focus solely on that, meaning not being distracted from that task. King of Wands is a very motivated, driven, um, singularly focused individual. First and foremost, you are again, Eight of Cups. You're leaving something that once was beneficial, that once was for you, that is no longer for you to move towards your Nine of Cups, right? That is the energy. How? Like, that's what I'm gonna put this deck up because this deck is not giving us the how. It is only I'm gonna use the Tarot Sensual Magic. I won't be able to show you much of the images. Some of them I can, but it is in alignment with the energy of your sapphire. And it feels as if it's like it's ready. You have a fire in the belly, but you just haven't. I don't know. I feel like I'm standing still. You know, like those. There's a lot of like game shows or little apps where it's like you got to get across from here to there, and there's all these squares, and you got to step on the right square, and if you don't, then the square disappears and you fall through. It feels like that. Like I'm sit. And they all look the same, and you're like, I do not know how. I don't know how. I don't even know which one's the right one. Thinking logically, okay, we got to cover some things up. Thinking logically is not going to be like the mental assessment will not necessarily give you the right route. That's probably the reason why this is difficult. King of Swords is about making decisions, and that requires action, but it's usually void of emotion, of passion, all those things. And on this particular card, this King of Swords, gross. He's taking his foot instead of giving real affection, like he just picks his foot up and starts petting her with his foot. It's like, could you be any more out of fucking touch? That's just it's just no. No. And so it feels as if it's like the purely logical, analytical, pragmatic way of making decisions is not the answer, which again might be why you're having difficulty because you're kind of like, in those games when you're trying to step on the square, it's sheer instinct. There's only so much pattern recognition and things like that. The first step is usually just instinctual. And then there's some level of pattern recognition. Well, if I stepped on this one, more than likely, after like two or three steps, you realize like, okay, the probability of it being these is probably less likely. It's got to be this one over here because I've stepped this way too many times. It's probably time to go this way or straight. And you can start seeing a pattern. But that first step is very instinctual, primal, passion based. Okay. So what feels good? See, if you go sheerly pragmatic and logical and evidence based, that's where see, let me rephrase that. that's going to keep you stuck because nothing is going to really truly make sense. You're always going to be able to find fault with anything. And so there is an approaching tower moment. Um, and it's all how we perceive it. It's all how we approach it, right? Tower moment is a fated change that we cannot avoid. There's a change that's going to happen one way or the other. We can sit there and stay stagnant and be like, or and not do anything. But if we don't do something, then spirit will do something. So it's kind of like I'm not saying whatever spirit's gonna do um would be bad because I don't feel that, but I do feel like when we resist, it feels a little more chaotic. But if we take the first step, then spirit tends to co-create with us. And if you're resisting the fire in your belly, the passion, the desires, the things that you feel called to, um, it's the proverbial boot to the ass. Like, you don't want to take the leap of faith, then I feel like you would much rather be the one to take the leap than to have the proverbial boot to the ass and be knocked over the cliffside. This is the Fool card, right? This is the, looking down, not really knowing what to do, and it's kind of like or what's at the bottom when you take that leap of faith or how it's gonna pan out. The Spirit's like, "You need to." Um, if you feel frozen because of the mental gymnastics you're doing about a move, Spirit will help you. It's and then instead of like that fire will feel like chaos instead of pleasure, you know what I'm saying? And so, or if this is about you consistently withholding from a connection that you feel really drawn to, um, it's much better for you to initiate the playful banter and stuff like that. Like it's kind of like spirits. I get. Look, if spirit is like you two need to cross paths, I'd rather be the one that's, like, open to it and ready and whatever because I promise you, spirit has sometimes put me in front of somebody's path and I'm like, "Today, motherfucker? Are you like, on my ugliest, god awfulists, feeling like I'm not ready or prepared, um, homeliest mama going to the school pickup line day, okay? If spirit is asking you to get out there, or if you feel drawn to get out there, then get the fuck out there. Because otherwise, there's this sense of like, if I'm like, okay, I need to get out there, guess what I'm doing? I'm probably putting on decent clothes, taking a shower, washing my hair, feeling presentable, trying. And if I don't feel presentable, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do what I need to do to kind of like get myself ready. I play a participatory role in all of this, right? And you feel so much better to make these connections from a place of confidence than them putting the proverbial boot to the ass, okay? And knocking me over that edge because it's not fun. It's not fun when they do it. They're like, okay, if it's giving ready or not, here it comes. It's gonna find you and make you. You know what I mean? So it is inevitable. Staying stagnant and still because you can't figure something out. You can't. You're. It's your mind that's keeping you locked in. Okay. You've got to follow the fire. Ace of Cups. Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is the all-in energy. It is the participatory energy. It is I just keep getting like if spirit has to thrust you forward, or it's whatever comfort zone you're in right now, this journey that you've been on, um you know it's suddenly becoming not comfortable and not good for you. And so it's just the proverbial rug going to be ripped out from underneath you. How that looks, I'm not really sure. But you, spirit, and everything in between knows that you don't need to be where you're at right now. And you're trying to go, okay, I'm going to do this. You know it. You feel it deep within you. You feel called to it. Um, but you do pretend like it's not calling you as loud as it is. And it's just giving like if you don't move, because Eight of Pentacles is the King of Pentacles. I'm gonna say King of Pentacles creates his life. You need to go all in so that you can be the one that creates your reality. I feel like saying this is worth investing in, doing the work that is necessary. What is the work? Let's talk about that. You're saying something that feels like, is that where you're at your head going all in on something? Three of Wands, Temperance. Yeah, you're just kind of waiting for something to come to you. You're like, "Oh, it'll show up on my doorstep." Like, I'm ready, but usually it comes to you after you take some kind of initiative, right? Three of Wands is after the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is taking action towards a desire, a passion, a path, a new beginning. Three of Wands is waiting for that to be reciprocated. Like there's this co-creation, right? Me and then the energies, there's a feedback of, is this working? Is this the way to go? You kind of do something and you wait and you see and all that kind of stuff, right? Um, you feel like you're waiting and you're waiting patiently, um but really you're done waiting. So you may have attempted to initiate something and it's not really going anywhere, or what you felt like was initiating something, and maybe that's what's shifting is you're like, well, now I feel called to go in a different direction and act differently and move differently. You're not really as patient as you are trying to pretend you are. So here you are trying to logicize your way into understanding how to move forward, and um, growing impatient in the process when something very inevitable is around the corner, something fated, something meant to happen. Like you're meant to move out of this. I just want to say, whatever you've done, where you think now you're waiting for something to come to you, and you're trying to be patient, that lack of patience, that fire in the belly is telling you something and you're ignoring it, pretending like it's not there. If you're like, I'm no longer willing to, and you desperately want to pivot, then pivot. If you feel like you've done the work towards something and it's not coming, it's okay to pivot. You were waiting for something to come to you, and maybe you need to go to it. Or maybe you need to take a different course of action. Whatever action you did take isn't sufficient enough. We have the Nine of Chalices, which is your wish card, with the Knave of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. Again, Three of Wands is I'm waiting for something to come to me and I'm trying to be patient, but I'm not. And so I feel like the Knave of Swords is because there's this whole sense of like watching, waiting, seeing, but no communicating, no interaction, no information coming in, nothing. Are they supposed to move towards it? What are they? Are they supposed to make another move? You did something and you don't know if you like the feedback you got from it. You did something to try and break free from this, and that's where you're kind of like in your mind, it's got you up in your mind, and that's why you're taking a very logical, pragmatic approach to something. You did something thinking to break free from your situation, to move forward, and it didn't give you the results you thought. You thought something was going to come your way, and it did not. And so now it has you up in your head contemplating like that's the squares that are below, like you threw something onto one of the squares, but it didn't light up, it didn't fall through, like, those little paths that you've gotta go through, it was too light, it wasn't a sufficient enough action. You're sitting here waiting like and because you didn't receive back the feedback that you were hoping, it didn't give you any kind of real indication, nothing popped off from it. You threw like you took your jacket off and threw it onto the square to see if it would hold up or fall through, and then you threw something on another square, and you're like, "Wait a minute." Because those squares only respond to when you step on them, right? To your weight, to they can sense inanimate objects versus, sentient beings or something like that. Like it's like it wasn't good enough. And so that has you up in your head like, oh, you were take again, that whatever it was a pragmatic approach. Your first step has to be. So you're almost more up in your head because you're like, trying to intellectualize your way through something or towards something or out of your current situation, and you can't. You have to follow your instincts, your intuition, your primal guttural whatevers. So here you are in the Two of Swords energy, stuck, not making any kind of moves. And can I just be honest? Like whatever it was, whatever move you made, you didn't get the response you wanted. And in fact, whatever information came you got garnered from that, it's like because you didn't get the response you wanted, you may have intellectually said X, Y, and Z, like whatever your brain told you, you didn't get the response you wanted. And the Page of Swords really makes me feel like studying something. You're really trying to study something, or somebody else is trying to study something, just in hopes that you can make the decision, the Two of Swords. Really studying it. Um, I don't understand why this card is here. I really need to. It feels like a blank energy, and that might be you not getting the like and the feedback that you. So again, we're going to go back to the idea of like, I'm ready to get out of my celibate energy. I'm ready to get out of this sense of isolation. I really want and desire something. You took some steps to get closer to that, maybe to find like the one or a soul connection, but nothing has, like, again, you attempted to, but nothing's come your way, and you're ready to break free from this path, because you feel like you're holding yourself back from life itself. Um, but it's like, okay, well then break free. I'm getting two things. You either one attempted to and it didn't work, and so you feel like, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to break free, or two, it's like there's still a lingering feelings being masked. Like, I still do want that kind of a connection. And maybe you feel like when I finally break free from that, it'll never come in. Or do you think by getting back out there and being flirtatious and enjoying life and going on adventures and connecting with people without any expectation that it has to be anything long term, that means you won't find something that's true? Knight of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups. That you feel like if I go this direction, I won't find the true blue, the real deal. So there's you feel kind of locked up. But that's the real reason, is you're like, is there a judgment here on yourself that if I entertain things that aren't very serious um along my journey for the sake of having an like a joyful, enjoyable, enthusiastic adventure, does that mean that I also won't be able to find the real deal one day? 5 of Cups. In this particular one, it's like, if there is somebody, it's like I don't know, I feel like somebody feels like they're moving away from the idea of, um, a destined soulmate to just, like, when people think, "There's somebody out there that I'm supposed to meet," and ever since I were a kid, I've always known that there is one person meant for me, and you're at the place where you're like, "I don't think the person that was meant for me chose this path, and I'm tired of holding myself back, and I wanna get back out there again." I've waited, but you know what? I'm losing life, and I'm losing out on experiences, and I'm too fucking important. I've reached a point where I'm ready, and whoever it is hasn't come in, and you think that if you change this path, that closes the door on that forever, because we have this face in the water, which is like the ghost of, you know? What if w w so it's like the idea that I have felt like I was gonna meet the one, and now I feel like I'm not. This goes back to the reading where it was like, "Oh, the changing of the guards," and I haven't posted that yet. Did I post that? I haven't posted it yet. Where someone's there's somebody very particular that they were meant to connect with, because their path requires 2 people, and it's like that person is not showing up, and now they're gonna be paired with somebody else, and somebody feels as if whoever didn't show up was the one that they were energetically intertwined with and always meant to meet, and it's like, can I have something meaningful and as deep with someone new? Like, how do you just slide somebody new in there? Will I always feel, because this is a ghost. You haven't met this person, but you feel like now like you won't ever. And you feel like spirit's just gonna bring somebody, like other people that are a match, but you're like, if I get into a relationship or connect with somebody that that isn't that person, will I always feel the linger of the energy of the person I never came into connection with? And so, Two of Wands, how do I actually move forward on that? How do I how do I move forward? How do I interact? Because there will be plenty of people that are interested in you, that want to connect with you. And so you may be contemplating, like, what if I just move forward and just have fucking fun in life? Because if anybody else that I come into connection with after this won't be able to meet the level of depth that you just don't think so, that they can. Making it really difficult when people make advancements to you for you to really want to fully jump in, because she's looking like, I don't know, she's looking down and she's contemplating and she wants it, but then again, she's just like, so you may be in this, that's where you're mental. You're so mental. And it's kind of like you're pros and consing it, and you're looking at all the variables, and you're da 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 da. And I'm just like, you're not going to find the answers that you seek, eh, or the truth, I just heard, through that means, through the King of Swords. And so you're trying to make a decision and choose a path and move forward in a way that you're like, well, you've tallied it up, pros and cons, and so I'm just going to go ahead and go out there and have fun. And so you're also in the process of writing off other types of potentialities, and it's like, that is not the way to move forward. That's not the way to move forward. But also in that process, you haven't done anything to move forward. Like, you really haven't truly broken free. I feel like saying finding love is inevitable for you. That's what that tower moment means. You don't have to. You feel something, and your brain is trying to compartmentalize, logicize, make it pragmatic, box it in, make sense of it, add stories to it. And it's like, you just got to get out of your head. What do you feel drawn to in the moment? What do you feel drawn to? What do you want to do? What speaks to you? What lights you up? What does that fire in the belly want right now? And that's what you're supposed to be following, and that's what you're supposed to be doing. 7 of Cups, very confused. 3 of Pentacles, a real desire to want to build your life now. 5 of Pentacles, but keeping yourself in lack because you're holding back. 4 of Cups. You won't even let yourself turn around to see that proverbial cup. All right, anything different that you want to add to this? Because I think that we've had this conversation long enough. Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles. Funny, because with the 9 of Pentacles, it's you doing you. And somehow this man falls in love with that and is like cutting her hair. Like, that's symbolic of, this is my person. This is, then we have the Queen of Pentacles, where it's almost like somebody falls at your, like, the level of worship because of all that you embody and all that you are. Queen of Pentacles very can do it all on her own. energy, Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, yet also the Two of Pentacles. Look at her doing her, not even seeing it. You were right. This person, whoever, whatever, like something is meant to find you. But you've been standing stationary, watching for it. See, watching for it. And it's like, well, you don't realize is they find you. But you can't stay still. You're really meant to be out there doing you, and somebody will find you. They find you. They find you. You breaking free, this belly in your fire that's like, I'm ready to live life. I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna do things. That's actually the answer. So whatever you attempted to do previously to break free or to make moves towards something that were very mentally based and like from that point of decision, like you knew you could feel it, but you moved and operated in a way that was King of Swords, when really you're just supposed to be out there experiencing life, living life, Six of Cups energy from this very playful whatever. And because of that, you're so wrapped up in what you're doing and enjoying and everything else like that, that they gravitate towards you because they find you. And they find you because you're this badass bitch on her own, out in there doing her thing very independently. It's like it's you living life again, out of this isolation, out of this hermit mode. You going out into the world doing you that helps them find you. So you're right about one thing. There is a love connection, but you're not meant to find them or make it happen. It isn't about your strategic moves towards them. It is you living life and that acting as a beacon, and that helps them find you. And you over here just standing still, and Spirit's like, I'm about to put my boot to your ass and knock you over that foot. So get out there into the world and just do something, do things, go places. I do feel like if you're like thinking like, where's the best place to make connections and find community and blah 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 blah, and so you're really in your head about, because where you've been is not where you need to be. You do need to get out into the world, whether that's travel or relocation, like really engaging in areas and spaces you don't normally. Um, you don't have to think about it. What feels good to you? What are you drawn to? What pulls you in? What makes you excited? Like go and do that shit. It will find you. It's like I'm so ready, and so now you're trying to strategically put yourself somewhere, and Spirit's like that's not how it's going to happen. The more you're in the head, the longer it's going to take, the less likely it is to happen. And so if you don't get to moving, we're going to do something to get you to moving. But the problem is when you got a fire in the belly like that, well, that's not very fun. Can I just tell you, that can knock you off whatever. And so they're kind of like, you, again, something hasn't responded. It hasn't come in. The ship hasn't come in. Something's not come towards you. And that's not because, and you're feeling very impatient. You're trying to pretend like it doesn't matter. Like, well, I'll just go this way. And it really does. And they're like, it's okay that it matters to you. It's okay that you feel this way. It's okay that you feel impatient. Follow that. It's speaking to you. Get out into the world. Do the things. It has been a long time. That part of your journey is over with. Go fucking have fun. You will triumph over this and you will get fulfillment. You will find love. But it'll find you. There's literally nothing you have to think through on that one. You don't have to strategize. So don't make decisions with your brain. I mean, you can still use your wisdom. You don't have to be completely stupid, but lead with your heart, lead with your passion, lead with what lights you up and what you feel turned on by. and choose that way. And it comes in. It will happen. So, all right. I hope that this found whoever it's meant for. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you at the next read.